A Shalom Makim Shalom. First and foremost, as always, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, great millstone that taught us his truth and that's what teaching his truth. Much peace, love, and salutation to the elect of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, that's pushing this word with all truth and sincerity. I'm the brother Tazamah from the Great Millstone Dallas camp. Excuse me. I'm coming back with another lesson. And Lord willing, this lesson will be edifying. And I want to do a lesson on this article that you see here on the screen. Very, very interesting as it reads. And this is from thepeoplesvoice.tv. All right, it says, Pentagon extremism report. Dozens of U.S. soldiers want to overthrow U.S. government. Let's read that again. Dozens of U.S. soldiers want to overthrow U.S. government. And immediately, what came to my mind was a scripture that's in 2nd Ezra, the 15th chapter, where it says that the course of their actions shall stand in their power. Because this is also too, excuse me. This is also too how the scripture says that a kingdom divided against itself cannot stand. Okay, and all these scriptures I'm quoting, I'm gonna get, but this is just further proof how, America is that much closer to being destroyed. Okay, you have America's own soldiers that are planning or wanting to overthrow the U.S. government. Okay, and this is 2nd Ezra 15, and I'm gonna read verse 1 and verse 2, and I'm gonna jump down. All right, it says, "Behold, Speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy." Okay, and you find the prophecies written within the scriptures. Okay, the testimony of Yahweh Shai is the spirit of prophecy. Okay, and you read the prophecies in the scripture and you look out in the world. Okay, you measure the time diligently in itself by way of going into the prophecies, right? "Which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true." Because everything that's been said, and everything that has been said, everything that is being said, and everything that will be continued to be said through the Spirit, all right, will come to pass, whether people believe it or not. Okay, remember the scripture says what? The scripture says, "Shall their unbelief make the faith of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai without effect? God forbid. We'll let Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai be true, and let everybody else be liars." Okay, and everything that's been taught through the Spirit, beginning with our apostles and elders on down, a great millstone, has came to pass. Okay, and the main prophecy that we're looking to come to pass is the MOTB. All right, that's a major prophecy that will come to pass before Yahweh Shai completely destroys this place and returns and delivers his elect and destroy the rest of these people. Okay, but this could be a catalyst that the Lord could use, all right, to bring forth more order out of chaos. Okay, so jumping down. Okay, jumping down. In verse 14 it says, "Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another with in swords in their hands." And the modern day sword, all right, it can actually be a physical sword, but it's just any weapon. A gun is a sword. A missile's a sword. Okay, a killing instrument. Okay, it says, "For there shall be sedition among men." Okay, there shall be sedition among men. Now, what does the word sedition even mean? We've got this word before, but this could be for newcomers. Rebellion, uprising, revolt, factitious commotion in the state. A faction could rise up. A military faction, a military coup, a military rebellion, a military uprise, a military revolt. Concerted attempt to overthrow civil authority. Boom, right there. And we're reading the article on it right now. We're reading it. Okay? So going back to the scripture, understand and know what sedition means. "For there shall be sedition among men in invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power." You see that? And this could very well be a catalyst to bring forth that. Okay? Dozens of U.S. soldiers want to overthrow U.S. government. And you better believe whenever all shit hit, whenever shit hits the fan, that a lot of these military personnel that was once in the military and veterans, they're gonna be one of the first ones out there to show forth strength by way of using their weapons. Okay. So let's read a little bit of this. And like I said, I got some other precepts that's just gonna come to mind. All right. It says an annual Pentagon report has found that extremism among some service members is a concern for the U.S. military, and that makes me think of the movie. What was that movie called? What was it called? The Hunted. I want to say was what it's called. It had Tommy Lee Jones. It had Tommy Lee Jones and The Hunted. I want to say is what it's called, man. Let me see real fast. The Hunted. Tommy Lee Jones. Is it called The Hunted? The Hunted. Yeah, this is a man. Hey, if you brothers ain't seen this movie, man, this is a real good movie, man. You know what I'm saying? This is a real good movie. Pretty much, he had like an ex-military member that pretty much turned into an assassin. You know what I'm saying? But he pretty much started going after his mentor. But yeah, it made me think about this. You know what I mean? It's a good movie. If our brother didn't check it out, The Hunted is a very, very good movie. It says an annual Pentagon report has found that extremism among some service members is a concern for the U.S. military. It says the report revealed that 78 service members were suspected of being advocates for the overthrow of their own government. You see? And this is Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai stirring the pot. Okay? Remember, the scripture says that the Lord will send fanners unto Babylon and they shall fan them. Okay? Those can go into foreigners and foreign mercenaries, man, as well too. Because you have a lot of individuals who aren't quote unquote activated, and when the time is right, they're set to be activated and to carry forth their missions here within the country. Sleeper cells, in a sense. When you watch that movie, you can watch that movie Salt with Angelina Jolie in it, just to get a better representation of what I'm talking about. All right, it says the report also showed that 44 service members were suggested of supporting or engaging in terrorism in the past year. So you definitely understand and know that there is a FF, a false F. Okay, there is a false F on the way, or F flag. All right, just put it like that. There's one of these are on the way. Okay, just understand and know that. Okay, and this whole little thing that was going on in the January 6th riots and things of that nature that took place last year. Okay, that was all set up. You see, that was all a setup. All they need is the perfect crisis. They've been already talking about these people that's been crossing the border. You got thousands of people just crossing the southern border on a daily basis. You got these pro-Palestinian movements taking place. You see, so Esau, man, you gotta think, man, you gotta remember Esau's crafty, man. You're dealing with the devil. Okay, you're dealing with the devil when he's going, you're dealing with Satan. Okay, as a matter of fact, let me get another precept real quick. Let's get Matthew the 12th chapter, because I quoted it earlier, so I might as well should just get it. Oh boy, let's get another one. Matthew 12 and 25, it says, and Yahushai knew their thoughts and said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation. You see that? Every kingdom that's divided is brought to desolation. And America is a divided kingdom. Okay, America is really the divided states, the divided states of America. You got everybody's opinions that are divided, ideologies are divided. Morals are divided. You see, and that's what the Lord does. He'll set forth opinions in people's minds to make them divided, so that eventually it's gonna be broken down and it ain't gonna stand. Right? It says, in every city or house divided against itself shall not stand. Okay? Here it is. You got military personnel, okay, that are pretty much like, look, you know what I'm saying? Like they support extremism and quote unquote terrorism against their own country. Okay? People that served in the military, and a lot of these people are probably disgruntled, in the sense of, whereas they went to Iraq and Afghanistan and fought and served their country, to really find out that what they was doing was pretty much what's the word I'm looking for? What they was doing was, in a sense, almost in a sense, a genocide, man. And there's particular stories that I've heard of individuals that went and actually fought. That was actually on the ground, and they told stories of things that they had to do, and you would question, like, why the hell was they really even over there? Videos of military of ex-veterans, and in these particular meetings and city council summits, city council meetings is just completely going in. So it says, RT reports, it says, overall, the 183 allegations of extremism across all branches of America's military ranked a 25% increase from the previous year's level, man. So it's just getting higher. In addition to cases in which service personnel allegedly advocated revolution or supported terrorism, the study documented cases of criminal gang activity, the promotion of widespread discrimination, and advocating or engaging in violence to achieve political objectives. That's 2 Ezra 15. That's what we just read. Okay, let me get this precept here. Okay, Isaiah 19:1. It says, the burden of Egypt, behold, it says, Yahweh rideth upon a swift cloud, and that swift cloud is talking about a chariot, what the world deems as UFOs. Okay, and it's going to be that's how the Lord is going to come back and judge Babylon the Great. Also with the missiles. It says, and shall come into Egypt. Okay, Revelation 11:8 says that their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which is spiritually called Sodom and Egypt. And the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence. And the heart and the mind of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it. See? Verse 2, it says, and I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians. Okay, and they shall fight. It says, and they shall fight everyone against his brother. You see, so it's going to be all kinds of civil war that's going to be taking place, man. You see, civil unrest, clash of ideologies, realms against realms, and everyone against his neighbor. It says city against city and kingdom against kingdom. And there was actually an account where the Lord actually, let me see if it's in a cross reference. Let me see. There's an account in the scriptures in history where the Lord actually turned the minds of individuals whereas they began to fight one another. Here it is. I want to say this is it. Yep. I want to say that this is it. This is actually another one. Man, there's multiple accounts of that. Let's actually get this one here in Judges. All right, Judges 7 and 19. It says so Gideon and the 100 men that were with him came unto the outside of the camp in the beginning of the middle watch. It says, and they had but newly set the watch, and they blew the trumpets and brake the pitchers that were in their hands. And the 3 companies blew the trumpets and brake the pitchers, and held the lamps in their left hands and the trumpets in their right hands to blow withal. And they cried, the sword of Yahweh and of Gideon. Okay, now this is an example of history. This is an example in history, I'd rather say, where this actually took place. Okay? It says, verse 21, and they stood every man in his place round about the camp. Excuse me. And they stood every man in his place round about the camp. And all the hosts ran and cried and fled. And the 300 blew the trumpets. And Yahweh set every man's sword against his fellow. Let's read this in the NLT. When the 300 Israelites blew their ram's horns, Yahweh caused the warriors in the camp to fight against each other with their swords. You see, so the Lord put a spirit on them, whereas they started just fighting each other. You know, those who were not killed fled to places as far away as Beth Shittah near Zerah and to the border of Abel Maholah near Tabath. You see, so the Lord can make that happen, to whereas he can cause the enemy to just start fighting each other. You see? So you have ex-military members and ex-veterans that actually are advocating for, terrorism, in a sense, in their own country. It says the Pentagon has been releasing its extremism data to U.S. lawmakers since 2021, the year in which President Joe Biden took office and began touting the threats posed by white supremacist terrorism. And that's another thing that they're pushing. They're saying that the main form of theism is by white supremacists, right? But it's really Edomite supremacy. Let me see here. In addition to cases in which service personnel allegedly advocated revolution or supported terrorism, the study documented cases of criminal gang activity. I'm sorry, I just read that. Under Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin's push to root out extremism in the military, the Pentagon issued new rules in December 2021 advising troops on banned activities, ranging from advocating terrorism to quote-unquote liking extremist views on social media. Letting you know that they're watching everything that you do on social media. That's why now what they want to do is that they want to have it set up to the point to whereas unless you have a digital ID, you can't even get on the internet. You can't like anything. You can't post anything. You can't even get on the internet unless you have this digital ID. That's what's coming. And it's all going to lead down to the MOTB. Okay? It says he also orders stronger screening during the recruiting processes and the creation of an investigative unit to identify potential extremists in the ranks. And that goes into AI. Okay? The crackdown came at least partly in response to concerns raised by the January 21st. Did not say that earlier? I didn't even read this article yet. And they're bringing it up. The January 2021 U.S. Capitol riot, in which dozens of military veterans and a few active duty troops took part in trying to disrupt congressional certification of Biden's presidential election victory. The whole riot that took place on January 6th. Like I said, I didn't even read this article before even making that point. But it's obvious. It's obvious. Okay, the scripture says that we're not ignorant of Satan's devices. Okay, it says the Pentagon's latest annual extremism review found that the U.S. Army had the most alleged cases among all military branches, with allegations made against 130 soldiers. The Air Force had 29 cases, while the Navy and Marine Corps had 10 each. More than 30% of the overall allegations were investigated and found to be unfounded or unsubstantiated. Because you do have individuals in the military that are also watching the videos too, that are also learning that they're Israelites, understanding and knowing that, man, look, they in the military, like, shit, what I gotta do to get out of here? I'm not going to disclose the brother's name, but I know a brother personally that I've known for years, one of my best friends. And brothers that know me know exactly who I'm talking about. I remember through the spirit, it was myself and, the preacher and myself, we was talking to him because I've known this man since high school. I've known him over a decade. And once he went into the military, I told him, I was like, man, look, this is when I first began finding out the truth, figuring out through the spirit, finding out things. I was like, man, you gotta get out the military. World War III gonna happen. And hey, he was, you know, the spirit of the Lord had it to whereas that brother was able to be discharged, man. So you got individuals in the military watching the videos. You know, hey man, shit. You know, like I said, I know other brothers, you know, the elders, brothers. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna, like I said, I'm not gonna put the information out there. You know, but it's just the truth. So this is pretty big information here, man. This ain't just something small. Okay, but also too, you got to keep in mind, you got sleeper cells, man. You got particular individuals that are set up to cause disruption, order out of chaos, to further implement the MOTB with things like this happening. Okay, so I'm just reporting. Lord willing, this is an edifying lesson. I'm going to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, B'Shem Yahushua, B'Shem Chakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that taught us this truth. And that's all pushing this truth, and much peace, love, and salutation to the elect. Shalom.